The riverbank shimmered under the early evening sun, its ripples glinting gold like scattered coins. Laughter filled the air as Izena and her two friends washed the woven baskets they had used for gathering palm fruits. The sound of rushing water mixed with their chatter, creating a melody of youthful freedom. But that melody shattered in an instant. From the thick bushes behind them, four hefty men emerged. Their bodies gleamed with sweat and intent, their faces masked by strips of thorn cloth. The girls barely had time to scream before rough hands grabbed them. Izena struggled, kicking and clawing, but a sharp slap silenced her. Rope burned her wrists as they were bound together, her cries swallowed by the river breeze. The men dragged them into the woods, through thorny shrubs and uneven paths. Even the girls sobbed so hard. One of them such that her knees buckled, but a harsh yank kept her moving. As they stumbled deeper into the forest, Izena's eyes adjusted to the fading light, and then she froze. Her heart stuttered. Uncle Obioma, she gasped. The man walking in front, broad-shouldered, with a familiar limb from an old farming accident, turned slightly. His eyes flickered with guilt before settling into a cold, distant stare. "Keep quiet, Izena," he muttered. Her world tilted. This was her father's younger brother, the one who used to carry her on his shoulders when she was small, the one who promised to protect her if anything ever happened. "Why, Uncle?" she cried out. "Why are you doing this?" He didn't answer. He only motioned for the others to move faster. His silence hurt more than any blow could. The path they took led into the unresided part of the village, a section avoided by everyone because it bordered the dark forest where the spirits were said to dwell. The men's torches flickered, casting monstrous shoulders on the trees as they pressed forward. Hours later, they reached an open clearing where a small group of men sat down around the low fire. They were the slave catchers, men who traded human lives for cowries and iron tools. Obioma handed the girls over like sacks of yam. He avoided Izena's eyes as one of the traders inspected her face and body, murmuring to the others in approval. Izena's mind raced. Betrayal, confusion, fear. They collided in her chest like stones. She wanted to scream his name, but her throat was dry, her strength gone. The traders paid Obioma in haste, and the girls were tied together with a thicker rope. The deal was made under the dying light, and the men left without looking back. As they journeyed through the night, Izena prayed for her deliverance. But deep down, a dark thought settled in her heart. If I survive this, I will never forgive him. By the next morning, the group reached the outskirts of Urumili, a vast settlement preparing for the burial of their late king, Eze, a ruler whose power was feared, even in death. The entire kingdom buzzed with activity. Drums echoed through the hills, black and red cloths hung from huts, and the air smelled of roasted yam, palm wine, and incense. According to the tradition, when a great king died, his spirit was escorted to the afterlife by human sacrifices, slaves and captives who would serve him in the spirit world. That was Izena's fate. Meanwhile, in the heart of Urumili, Chief Chekwa, the most powerful of the king's council, walked across the village square, his mind heavy with responsibilities. This burial was just 3 days away, and each chief was expected to contribute to the ceremony. His steps halted when he saw a commotion near the entrance of the square. A group of traders were parading new captives for the ritual. Among the trembling faces and dirt-streaked bodies, one stood out. She was radiant, though her beauty was dulled by exhaustion and fear. Her long braids hung loose, her wrapper torn, but her posture, proud, even in chains, made her seem ethereal. The chief's heart thudded. He moved closer, frowning. No, it can't be, he thought. He stared harder. The girl raised her head slightly, her eyes meeting his, and in that instant, something shifted. Her gaze, sad, defiant, filled with quiet strength, pierced through his chest. Who is she? He demanded softly. One of the traders bowed. A new catch from Umudim village, my lord. Strong one, good for the burial offering. The chief's jaw tightened. He stepped nearer, inspecting her face in silence. The curve of her lips, the unspoken questions in her eyes, everything about her defied her condition. I will take her, he said suddenly. The traders blinked. My lord, she is already chosen for the... I said I will take her. He repeated, his voice sharp. Name your prize. They hesitated only a moment before greed replaced surprise. The chief handed over a bag of cowries. As the deal was sealed, he gestured to one of his guards. Keep watch over her. Tell no one of this until I arrive. He walked away, his mind reeling. This wasn't just lost. It was something else, something he didn't understand. He was puzzled. Somewhere in that crowded square, Izena's heart beat faster. She didn't know who the man was or why he had intervened, but his eyes, unlike the others, held no cruelty. She didn't know it yet, but this single act had just set off a chain of events that would shake kingdoms and rewrite destinies. The chief's secret and the fire beneath the ground. The sun sank behind the palm trees, painting the village in hues of amber and blood. Drums echoed across the Urumili, their deep rhythm rolling like thunderbolts, the sound of a kingdom preparing to bury its king. But inside Chief Onwuchekwa's compound, the world felt strangely still. He paced his courtyard like a restless lion, his mind consumed by the face of the girl he had seen that morning. He couldn't shake her image. Those sorrowful eyes, that stubborn strength beneath the fear. He had seen countless slaves and women in his lifetime, yet none stirred his soul like her. It was as though his spirit recognized hers from another life. Obidike, he called to his most trusted guard. The tall warrior appeared instantly, his spear resting across his shoulder. My lord, the girl brought from Umudim. Where is she now? Obidike hesitated. In the holding hut, but behind the old shrine, my lord. She's quiet, does not speak to the others. The chief nodded slowly. Bring her here. But let no one know. If anyone asks, say she has been taken to the sacred grove for cleansing. Yes, my lord. As Obidike left, the chief poured himself a cup of palm wine, his hands trembling slightly. He was not a man easily shaken. He had survived wars, council, conspiracies, and even whispers of witchcraft. But this felt different, dangerous. Minutes later, Obidike returned, guiding Izena gently by the arm. Her feet were dusty, her wrist still bound. She looked smaller up close, but her eyes held defiance like burning coals. The chief dismissed his guard with a nod and gestured for her to sit. She refused. Her chin slightly lifted, the rope still biting her skin. "Who are you?" she asked quietly. Her voice was steady but soft. "Chief Onwuchekwa," he replied, "one of the council elders of Urumili." "Why did you take me?" she demanded. "Are you not among those who killed the innocent for your dead king?" Her boldness startled him. Most captives trembled in silence, but this girl dared to question him. He sighed. "You speak with courage." "I speak with truth," she shot back. "My people have done no wrong. We were stolen, betrayed, and sold like goats." He studied her a long while before saying, "And yet you are alive, because I willed it so." Her eyes narrowed. "So you saved me to own me." The chief rose. Her words cut sharper than a blade. He set down his cup and walked closer, his expression unreadable. "No, I saved you because something about you forbids me to let you die." Izena's breath caught. For a fleeting second, she saw something human in him, a flicker of sorrow beneath the power. But just as quickly, he masked it away. "You will stay here for now," he said finally. "You will be treated well, but you must not leave this compound. The king's burial begins tomorrow, and if the council learns that I withheld a chosen offering, they will." He stopped himself. He didn't finish that sentence. Izena watched him turn away, a thousand thoughts spinning in her head. She didn't know what to think of this man, her savior, her captor, or something in between. The storm and the palace. That night, Urumili pulsed with life and danger. The palace courtyard was a carnival of sound. The chant of priests, the clang of blacksmiths shaping ceremonial blades, the steady beat of drums. Fires burned high, sending sparks into the night sky. Among the elders gathered around the sacred grove was Chief Uka, a man with eyes like vultures. He was the king's brother and the most cunning of all. He noticed that one of the captives chosen for the sacrifice, the young maiden from Umudim, was missing. "Who took her?" he barked at the traders. The men shifted uneasily. We were told by the chief of the east. We were told that the chief of the east took her for the purification rites." Chief Uka's face darkened. "Onwuchekwa," he muttered under his breath, always playing his own game. He turned to the messenger. "Find out what he's hiding. If he dares to defy the rites, I'll have the spirits judge him before sunrise." The Whispering Woman. While the kingdom slept, a soft knock echoed outside of Chief Onwuchekwa's chamber. He opened the door to find an elderly woman wrapped in red cloth, her eyes clouded with age but gleaming with secret knowing. "Chief," she said with a crooked smile, "you've meddled with fate." "Who are you to speak of fate in my house, Mama Ijoma?" She chuckled. "You've brought home one who is not meant to be owned. Her spirit burns with an ancient mark, the same curse, the same that cursed the first daughter of Urumili generations ago." The chief frowned. "What nonsense is this?" "She bears the mark of Anenechi," Mama Ijoma whispered. "A spirit child bound to the forest gods. If she dies before her bond is fulfilled, the earth will cry blood." He stiffened. "And if she lives?" "She will bring either your salvation or your ruin." The old woman's words hung heavy in the air as she turned and disappeared into the shadows, leaving only the smell of burning herbs behind. The silent night. That night, Izena couldn't sleep. She sat by the small window, the moonlight pouring across her face. Every rustle of leaves made her flinch. Every distant drum reminded her of the danger still lurking beyond those walls. Then, suddenly, a faint whisper. Izena. She turned sharply. Who is there? No one answered. The air was still, thick with the hum of unseen forces. But deep within the forest, beyond the compound, an ancient spirit stirred, one that had been waiting for centuries for her return.